Dear friends, so there is an old saying that whoever has the nose, definitely one or other day would have suffered from cold, right? Running nose. Similarly, anybody has head, of course the brain, will have headache one or other time. Similarly, anybody who has used a computer for longer hours or longer years definitely is going to have the back pain. That's what is commonly known as now computer back syndrome, right? So any person who uses a computer or abuses or overuses whatever it is, or doesn't use properly in a proper scientific way, is going to get the back pain one or the other day. That's what is called as computer back syndrome, right? So let me explain you what is meant by computer back syndrome, why it comes, how to tackle it, and what are the preventive things available and how to manage it, right? It's not only the computer back syndrome. People who are using computer, they'll have a lot of problems with their neck also, shoulders, elbows, wrist, everywhere, right? Okay, so I'll explain all those things briefly. Please see watch this video until the end, right? So what happens, anybody, it's not only the computer. When I say computer, not only the software engineers who are used to it, right? Nowadays computer is everywhere. It's like there is no house without computer. Any student has a computer now. Either they have a laptop or whatever it is, mobile, and until it is there in everybody's house, right? So whenever a person uses a computer for long hours now, there are a lot of stress and strain for the lower back. Let me explain you why it is so. See, if I ask you one simple question, when does your back strain more? Whenever you're standing or when you're sitting? I know most of you will tell when it is standing, but that's not the wrong answer, and that's not the correct answer, right? It's a wrong answer. So let me explain to you why it happens. See, whenever you're standing, there are muscles which are called as thigh muscles and gluteal muscles and calf muscles. These are the muscles which are called as anti-gravity muscles. Whenever you're standing, that's called as anti-gravity muscles, and those are the muscles who take up the load, right? So that's the reason you can stand erect. So when you're standing, the most of your body weight, right, which will be transferred to the ground through these muscles, and these muscles are the ones which are under stress. Your lower back muscles is not under much stress when you are standing. But what happens when you are sitting? Observe my position now. When I am sitting right down, right like this, my thigh muscles and gluteal muscles, the muscles in the gluteal region now, those muscles are relaxed now. So what happens when I come like this, the weight of the head and neck, upper chest and everything goes and falls in the lower back area, right? So once the lower back gets the maximum load, definitely it is going to strain. That's what we call as lumbosacral strain, right? So whenever a software engineer, any other person who sits long duration in a chair like this, will bound to get some back pain, and that too because of some bad postures which they use. Let me demonstrate what are the bad postures they use, right? And I have created a video how to strengthen your back muscles and how to sit properly in the sitting, normal scientific posture of sitting, normal scientific posture for standing, how to lift weight, everything I have done videos. Whenever you reach end of these videos, those videos will be available. Please do watch it, right? So whenever a person sits, what are the tips to avoid back pain? Let me tell you, okay? Whenever a person sits like this, suppose if you lean like this, or if you lean like this and start doing the work, or if you go front and start doing the computer, what happens? See the amount of gap here from the back to the chair. This is the amount of gap is there, right? So this should be avoided. What you should do, either you should take the chair towards the table, or you can pull the table also, doesn't matter. So when you're sitting like this, all of your upper back is with the support of your chair, right? So if this is the case, the load will be transferred to this part of the chair, so that the lower back doesn't get strained much. So this is very, very crucial, very, very important. Let me explain you how your posture should be while sitting, right? So this is the way you sit, right? So what happens? The chair should be better, is up to your head and neck level, so that even head can be rested, and all of your back is supported, right? Some people sit in the off chair, the chair which is like this now, only off of the chair. That doesn't give full cover to your full body, right? So you have to sit in such a chair which is supports full of your back, right? That's the one thing. Second thing, better you should have an armrest also, so that both of your arms are rested on that. This part of this, suppose if you're holding like this weight gets transferred once again to your upper back, and that goes down to your lower lumbar spine. So if you are using armrest, if you are using like this, so this part of the weight and this part of the weight is removed. It doesn't fall on the lower back. So whenever you're using a chair, better to use the chair with armrest, and better to put your weight on that. Suppose when you are working in a computer also, when you are working in a keypad or whatever it is, so let the armrest be rested on like this, and you are even if it is, see, if you are working like hanging like this, no, then that's a problematic. So there are some chairs where you can rest. Those are called as ergonomic chairs, where you can adjust the height of your armrest also. So if you put your arms on those armrests and if you start working like this, no, then this part of the weight is taken care of here, and you won't be getting stressed. So your shoulder muscles won't get strained, right? So there's one more syndrome, what is called as mouse shoulder syndrome. So whenever we use mouse for computer operator, we use like this. If you're using like this, see, all of this weight is pulling the shoulder. So the shoulder muscles, shoulder girdles, even your neck muscles get stretched, and there will be a lot of stress and strain on that. Because of it, a lot of people who are using computer will come with shoulder pain, the neck pain, the nagging type of pain, and it will be disturbing for them. So to avoid this shoulder mouse syndrome, better to rest like this and do. And this is the one thing. Second thing, because of repeated movements of your fingers, right? So these are called as extension movement, right? The extensor group of muscles are there, which will take origin from the lateral epicondyle of the humerus. So there is a group of muscles, you run like this, and those muscles do the function of extending your wrist and doing the extension of these fingers, right? So whenever you are using computer, whenever you are overusing, and whenever you are abusing, when you are not giving proper rest, whenever these movements are happening repeatedly, there is one phenomenon called as RSA, repeated stress injuries. So this muscle insertion gets pulled repeatedly, and there is a chance of getting what is called as tennis elbow. And I have made one more beautiful video mentioning about tennis elbow, how to tackle it. Please go through it, right? So that's the problem one can have. And because of constant use of the computers, especially when you are using computer, if you hold the wrist in this dorsiflexion position, this is the normal anatomical position, right? If it is like this, it's normal anatomical position. Whenever you are using a mouse, you are holding like this. So when you are holding like this is an hyperextension. That is the time there is a lot of pressure that is created in a tunnel, which is called as carpal tunnel here. Okay, so the carpal tunnel, the nerve gets compressed there. What is called as carpal tunnel syndrome. I have made one more beautiful video of carpal syndrome. Please go through it. I have done almost more than 250 videos covering each and every topic of orthopedics. And whatever things I am mentioning, I am just shortly mentioning. If you want to know about in detail, please search in Dr. Muralidhara Ortho YouTube channel, where I have done more than 280 videos there. Almost all orthopedic problems is covered there. Please go through them. You will get a beautiful insight of all those things, how to manage, everything is there, right? Thank you so much for that. So they develop what is called carpal syndrome, wherein there will be a lot of numbness and tingling sensation over the hands, and they will feel some kind of uneasiness, all those things. So that's what is called carpal syndrome. So these are the basic problems with most of the computer engineers or computer people who are using will face. So I hope this video was very, very useful. I have advised what are things to be done, and let me tell you one more problem what the computer people will face. They will face what is called as dry eyes, right? Dry eyes, irritation of the eyes, and itching sensation in the eyes. That's mainly because they work the computer for longer hours, right? That's what happens. There's one more rule, what is called as 20, 20 and 20. What is a 20, 20, 20 rule? That's the rule wherein for every 20 minutes you're watching the screen, right? So for 20 seconds, look at a object which is 20 feet away, right? Every 20 minutes, watch object which is 20 feet away for about 20 seconds. Whenever you're doing like this, you're looking at a distance place, maybe a beautiful nature, scenery, a beautiful green nature, whatever it is. When you look, basically when you look outside your window, your muscles which are there to accommodate, right, the lens to the screen and to the distance, those muscles will get some exercise and those muscles get relaxed. That's very important that you take a break for every 20 minutes, watch an object which is about 20 feet far away for about 20 seconds. You need to follow that one thing. Second thing, you need to frequently keep using your eyelids to close and open the things, so that there will be proper lubrication of the whatever the lacrimal fluid that gets circulated in the eyes, right? So you should keep doing that, so that those fluid, the thin layer of fluid will get circulated all over the eyeball, so that burning sensation, dry eyes can be prevented. Okay, so one more tip is that whenever using computer screen, let it be at your level of your eyes, and the brightness, yeah, there is option, all of you know, you have to, don't make it too bright or don't make it too dim. Let it be an optimum, whichever you are comfortable with. And even font of that letters there, no, you can, you know, you can increase it, right? So don't struggle with reading for words or sentences which are in a just small font. You can always increase their fonts and let it be in your comfortable size, so that you can read it easily without causing much strains to your eyes. Okay, I hope this video is very useful for especially people who are using computer. That means for each and every person who uses a computer, let be a computer software engineer or any person, students especially, students who are reading 10th and PUC, who are taking online classes, and whoever is working with the computer need to follow all these basic rules. Please do follow, you also do follow all these basic rules, and also encourage people who are using computer to use such things, so that they won't strain their lower back, neck, whatever it is. Let them use proper precautions, and let them take care of their back muscles and strengthen their back muscles. There is a beautiful video, strengthen the back muscles, which I have done already. Please go and watch it. So thank you very much for patiently watching this video. I think it was very useful. Let it be useful to all your family, your friends, and all those people who are using computer, right? Please do share this video to them, ask them to watch it till end. And I have done more than 250 videos. Please follow, subscribe, and help this knowledge to spread to all others. Okay, all the best.